has been said that education is the bedrock of every development, and that's why there's a need for there to be a special attention to education. On the 5th of October 2023, the Akweya teachers celebrated the World Teachers Day courtesy of the 10X Education Consult coordinated by Ms. Favor Ekbadeko. And some findings: lack of qualified teachers, poor learning environment, and then most importantly, lack of lesson notes and lesson plan. We have in the studio with us on Akweya TV, the proprietor of King's Comprehensive Academy, Otobi Akweya, in Otukpo local government area of Benue State. I'm talking about no other person but Mr. Simon Adukpe Eji. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a privilege to be here.
Talking about what I just mentioned, what are your views concerning that? How true is that?
Thank you so much once again. I say kudos to Akweya TV. The findings were actually true. And I would like to say it, when the desirable is not available, the available become desirable. Okay. Looking at the devastating and dilapidating nature of the educational sectors in this country, from our own perspective and our areas, we try to see the way we can augment the effort of the government. And that's just the whole thing about that observation. Okay. Talking about, qualified teachers or not qualified teachers, for instance, how much is the private school receiving from our community as to take care of the educational activities? Personally, in my school, we take less than 2,000 naira as a school fees. 2,000 naira as a school fees. And so for you to employ a professional teacher, which is far above 30,000 naira, the management find it very difficult. Mm-hmm. But a situation whereby the children are roaming about and there's no helping hand, we look at the way we can come up with our own personal effort to add our own quota to that of the government. Okay. And that is the aspect that led to, unqualified employment of unqualified teacher. Okay. And then you made mention of a poor learning environment. There is no way you will have 1 million and you go and purchase a material of 2,000 naira. Yeah. So it's all centered on, the financial handicaps of what the proprietors and the proprietors, as the case may be. But nevertheless, we are doing our best. Okay. And we'll keep doing our best because a conducive environment will enhance a qualitative education. Okay. So personally, I am the chairman of all private schools in Akweya district today. Okay. And we are working towards achieving that great success. Okay. By sensitization and orientation. Okay. And most especially in so many occasions, we give kudos to Akweya TV because they gave us a helping hand. Okay. They gave us a helping hand so many ways that we cannot just mention. And that has really helped. Okay. The Akweya school.
Okay. There might not be professional teachers, but I believe that when people are now employed into a profession, even though that might not be the background of their education, at least they could have some orientation.
Yeah, of course.
The lesson note and lesson plan, I believe, should be basic for every teacher who gets into the teaching sector. So, particularly your school, what do you do about lesson note?
Thank you so much. They say it is only ignorant that kills the monkey. When you trail some of the proprietor and proprietors, you will discover that is not their field directly. Mm. Myself, I'm an educationist. As an educational management, I know what should be in place. And that's why I can only speak for myself and for my school, King's Comprehensive Academy. Of course, apart from those lesson plans and the scheme of work, I think twice in a term, I organize seminars
Okay.
that orient, and the whole teachers, when they are right around, they write, they are instructed,
Okay.
they are directed.
Okay.
We taught them what to do as the terms commence and towards the climax of the terms. Also give them workshop that sensitize them
Okay.
on what to do.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So, and I believe that on one or two occasions in our union meeting, I've emphasized on those issues for them to make an effort so that the schools from our environment there can meet up with a global standard.
Okay. It's okay. So now talking about your school, King's Comprehensive Academy. Many of us are aware of the humble background of the school. We have always used that school in our opening montage on Akweya TV with that touch house. But I remember there was a time you talked about some people came around and they helped in the project. So how far with the project? How have you gone with the project?
Thank you so much. That was why I said initially. I said kudos to Akweya TV.
Was it Akweya TV?
Actually, it was Akweya TV that influenced that project.
Okay.
It was Friends Without Boundary. It's an NGO. So when Akweya showcased us, Akweya TV showcased us how we're using up to 5 thatch houses. Like I said, when the desirable is not available, the available become desirable.
Yeah.
So we started, and the bedrock of that school, when the vision came up, I think it was based on passion. Usually people say school is all about business. But I want to tell you that King's is different entirely. I started that school from burial, a situation whereby the children lost their parents and there was nobody to cater us. So that school, King's, you can see that out of 100%, about 65% of them are under scholarship.
Wow.
I'm just taking care of that as a way I can add my own quota to the development of this great country. And that was how we started that way until Akweya TV came up and then aired us to the world. And these Friends Without Boundary came to our aid to at least erect 2 standard classrooms together with an office, though it's yet to be completed, but they have really done great. I think the block work has come to conclusion. It's only the roofing part that is remaining. And I say kudos to them.
What do you think should be done to salvage that situation that have been discovered in the private schools in Akweya? What will be your response?
I want to encourage the Akweya Airlights, especially because they say charity begins at home. If the people from different welfare can come up to render assistance. Now, in the like of Comrade Abadaudu, he's doing his own part on the political aspect of it. If they can give more attention to the education in Akweya, I'm telling you that in no distant time, we'll meet up and measure up with the world standard. So coming in this way is simply to passionately and considerably come up to the directors, to the proprietors, to the proprietors. We notice and observe these issues, challenges. How do we come in? And then it will be spelled out clearly. If not for my wife, who has been very, very instrumental, it would have been something else. And because the thing is actually affecting the institutions on daily basis, you see them moving from one school to another, parent moving their child and work from one school to another, all because of all these challenges. And then take, for instance, where I am taking 1,800 as a school fees per term, and a lesson fee is 150 naira, and then a PTA levy is 50 naira. So how do you manage this if not by God's grace? And so if Friends Without Boundary can come up through the efforts of the Akweya TV and the Akweya Airlines are able to give us attention, I think we have a better educational standard in
the starting of your school.
Yes.
As it is now, you have like 60% on scholarship. 65% of your students on scholarship.
Yes, sir.
And then you are collecting less than 2,000 naira school fees.
Yes, sir.
From each of the students. So, and then you are paying the staff.
Of course.
You pay some of the staff. How are you funding it?
Actually,
for now,
it has been God.
Okay.
It has really been God and great sacrifices. I tell you nothing but the gospel truth. The school was founded on 11th September 2012. But from that year till now, I hardly tell you the academic section or a term that ends up with me having a penny as a leftover. So even my HMs, they are aware that my expenditures are far more than the income. The 35% that are left, most of them are debtors. And I have to understand because their source of income is primarily farming, subsistence farming. And so, but like I said earlier, if Akweya TV, they are playing their own quota, individually we ought to play our own quota for the development and the betterment of our economy.
So what level is your secondary school now?
By His grace, we have attained the highest level, which is XX3.
Okay.
Yeah.
That means you've graduated some sets already.
Yes, sir.
One of the schools were granted WAEC Center. So where are your students writing their WAEC now?
Yeah, actually, like I talked about the challenges, we are working tirelessly, praying to God towards the establishment and the approval of our center by the government. And you know what it takes, you know what it requires with all this experience. But while we are still trusting God for that, we are affiliated with Idoma Community Secondary School, who happens to be one of the mother schools from that axis.
From your words, everyone can see and hear that your passion for education is unprecedented. So what do you have to say finally?
One of my lecturers in Benue State University says, if you say that education is expensive, you should try ignorance. I just want to make an appeal that for Akweya TV to add their own quota to make this kind of great efforts, that the Akweya elites and those God-fearing people should come up with what? An assistance. Because we know that these children, they are the future leaders. They are the ones that can give us that hope and aspiration we have been praying and we have been aiming at. And so the Bible says when the foundation is, spoiled, what can the righteous do when the foundation is faulty? And so we need to give these children the maximum attention to groom and to nurture them from the grassroots level. So for them to come to our aid, I think it will eradicate this problem.
There is something you have done that I think that should be the first time that this is happening from around that axis. Carrying some of your students all the way from Otobi Akweya in Benue State to Abuja for an excursion, for them to see some professional places, see some things. What inspired that?
Yeah, like I talked about sacrifices. By His grace, God has made us a role model in that aspect. And in one of the teaching methods, it's called field trip. Field trip help the children to learn practically. And like education, we always said, he said a child learns by imitation, which has actually helped them advance academically. This is not the first time we have been to excursion, to go visit banks, other places. We have been to Makurdi, and today, by His grace, we are now in Abuja. And of course, it has been, our earnest desire, our prayer. And I say kudos to the parents that were able to believe on this, my vision, and they are able to augment, to help, so that we can come. Actually, this time around, traveling from Otobi down to Abuja, you know what it takes.
Yeah.
You know what it takes. Yeah. It has been sacrificed all along. But we pray and believe and trust God with Akweya TV and other allies that will come up. God will take us to that greater height.
Wow. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Simon Adukpe Eji, proprietor, King's Comprehensive Academy, Otobi Akweya in Otukpo government area. Welcome to Abuja. Welcome to Akweya TV. Really glad to have you. And this is where we draw the curtain of our discussion today. Please, I'd like you to share the video, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. My name is Idajo Morris. Aja.